Let's get back to Elland Road and the game there and the incident really that overshadowed it all. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Stephen. You were at the game. How hard, how difficult was that to watch?
Yeah, I mean, it's never nice when you see an injury to a player, and such a big injury as well. The reaction of the players told you everything. I think it was Mohamed Salah was the closest to Harvey Elliott at the time. You could see the reaction from him. But then it was also Curtis Jones who jumped up out of the bench, and you could see his reaction straight away. The bib went over the face, it was head and hands, and just that moment, and you could tell it was a serious injury. I think obviously credit to the medical staff at the ground who were quickly on the scene, both from Leeds United and Liverpool, who hopefully have helped Harvey Elliott and made it comfortable for him.
Yeah, I just wonder, Sue, as well, how difficult it was for his teammates. There was still a kind of a fair chunk of the game to play, wasn't it, to try and keep their heads in the game, and the Leeds players as well, to be fair.
Yeah, it's horrible. And, you know, Stephen just mentioned it there. You could see Mo Salah straight away. He was close to him and he runs straight over to, I suppose, just to see if he was okay. Straight away he saw what had happened, and you could see the reaction of everybody involved. And like you say, it's you have to then try and focus on the game, and all you can think about is your teammate, your friend, and you're just hoping that they're going to be okay. He's a young lad. He's, 18 years old, who... He did brilliant in the Championship for Blackburn, come back to Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp showed every faith in him, starting him, you know, playing him quite regularly, and he's been excellent. And it was just so sad to see that happen, you know, a horrible incident like that. And you just think he's young, he's in the best possible place. Liverpool will look after him, and hopefully he'll come back fitter and stronger. But yeah, it's not nice for anybody to see.
It's horrible because when them things happen, you almost go to a training game mode where it becomes passive, doesn't it? Because you're frightened of putting a tackle in after that because of the incident that's happened. You almost feel that you don't want to make a challenge because it's so easy to happen. It can be so inconspicuous that can happen. You think, oh, I don't want that to happen again. So you can understand the players' mentalities when the player was injured.
Yeah, I know. We saw him sort of applauding the fans as he went off, and there's a lovely tale about how he gave his shirt and the other boots to a young boy in the hospital who'd broken his arm playing football. So a great awareness from such a young man. But I guess the unknowing of the players on the pitch, they don't know how bad it is. Can you get messages across? Can you let them know that, OK, he's safe, he's comfortable, you know, and all that sort of things, because the idea of still having questions in your mind when you're playing must be hard as well. Yeah,
and I think that will be the first thing that the players will ask as soon as they come off the pitch. The game suddenly becomes a little bit irrelevant, and the scoreline becomes irrelevant, doesn't it? It's like, is my teammate, is my friend okay? And you know, I listened to Trent Alexander-Arnold after the game, and that's what he said. They wanted to know, you know, what's happening? Has he gone to hospital? Is he, you know, has he got the operation, or what is the sort of scenario? Because you just want to know the welfare of your player. But going back to his character, I think that's why he's going to have such a successful career, because not only is he a fantastic player on the field, but he's got the right character off the field, and just those little gestures, you know, the obviously applauding the crowd when he went off, and giving his shirt and his boot to somebody that was next door. You just think, he's got everything, hasn't he? So he'll come back stronger and fitter, I'm sure. And sometimes you learn from those injuries. You know, I remember having, you know, serious injury, and when you come back, you love the game even more because you've been out for so long and you've watched your teammates training, and you're stuck in the gym, you're stuck in the physio, and suddenly you get back out on that pitch and back out on that training field, and you just can't wait to play. So that excitement and that enjoyment, I'm sure, will certainly be back once he's back fit.
Yeah, when you're that age, a month seems like forever. Yeah. You know, a week is a long time, isn't it? How important is it that the people around him now just guide him through this? Because I would think what do I know? I would think, though, if I was Harvey Elliott, I'd want to try and rush, I'd try and get back there, you know. And this could be a long process, and actually the idea of taking it easy in the long run is much more beneficial, is it not?
It is, but from his point of view, he's just broke into the Liverpool team, and he's thinking, I want to get back. I want to get back in that team. But what he he has to understand, and which I'm sure will be put across to him, is that he's got a manager who believes in him. He's showcased himself in not only the start of this season but last season at Blackburn. The club believe in him. The players understand how good he is. He'll get all the support from Liverpool Football Club, I'm sure, but also fellow professionals. You could see the messages going around on social media last night. Everyone sort of is hoping him, wishing him a speedy recovery, but the medical department will give everything to that player now. He'll get the care 24/7 if he needs it to make sure he's right. The other side of the game, which is being highlighted so much now, is the mental side of it, the psychological side of it. How do you recover from that? We're seeing it with Virgil van Dijk when he's playing now, building himself into the game because he's had such a big injury, and that's the hardest part, coming back from an injury. You know that your leg's stronger, you know that you've done the work behind the scenes, then it's the mental side of the game. So he's got many obstacles to cross and within time I'm sure he will, but it will be a process that he has to take his time over to make sure that, I mean, he's 18 years old, he's got another sort of 12, 13 years of his career, so he's got plenty of time ahead of him.
Yeah, I wonder about Pascal Struijk as well. It looked like there was no intent in that challenge. So is it important, the flip side? We heard it with Heung-min Son as well, didn't we? That he is looked after too, perhaps.
Oh, definitely, because I don't believe any player goes out to injure another player, another professional, and Struijk was clearly going for the ball. It was an attempt at a challenge, and I don't think he realised what had happened initially. I don't think that the Leeds players realised the sort of the severity of the injury, and yeah, it'd be awful. You know, thank goodness in my career I didn't actually injure people or injure anybody seriously like that. And I think speaking to other professionals and other players that have, that is really tough, because it's that mental side again, isn't it? So I think when you've been injured, it's that mental side of coming back. Is my leg going to be okay? Is it going to happen again? But also, if you've been a player that's actually injured that player, you'd be thinking the same. You'd be thinking, should I go in for that challenge? Should I go in as strong? What if that happens again? So it's trying to overcome that, and you know, and he needs to be looked after as well.
It is a tough side of the game, and I think it's a brilliant point, because I remember when I broke my leg the second time, I got a phone call from the lad who broke my leg. He was crying down the phone, gutted what he'd done to me, but saying then, I don't feel like I can go in for another tackle because I'm worried that I'm going to hurt someone else. And sometimes, listen, it's part of the game. It's part of contact. I think that the message that he put out last night on social media was very sort of, not brave of him, but he wanted to get across straight away. There was no intent and there was no sort of malice in the tackle. It was purely accidental. And I think it was. I fully believe it was. But he's got to get over that himself and understand that you're going to have incidents where that might happen.
Talking of social media, Harvey Elliott has, in the last few minutes or so, has just gone onto social media. I'll tell you what he said. He said, I'm of course absolutely devastated with what happened yesterday at Leeds, but have been totally overwhelmed by the love and support shown to me by the entire football world following the injury. Thank you so much to everyone who's reached out or sent messages to me and my family. It means so much to us. Also, a massive thanks to everyone inside Elland Road for the reception you gave me immediately after it happened. I'm now fully focused on my recovery. Will give everything in my rehabilitation to be back out there as soon as I can. I know I have an incredible support network behind me at Liverpool, and together we will get through this. To all of the Liverpool fans, your support means the world to me. I'm one of you, and I can't wait to be back faster, fitter and stronger to help the team in the future.